I'm Kevin Kerr. I'm the lead researcher and investigator for Pararationalise, as well as investigator for Team Impact. My definition of paranormal, well, the actual definition is obviously anything above normal. So we say paranormal. There's also a situation where people say ghosts are in the paranormal, all these things we don't understand, basically. To me, as I found, it doesn't really mean above normal for me anymore, because when you do the research, you begin to realise that things are just normal, but we just don't really understand enough about them. And the more I've gone on, the more I've begun to realise that science actually does have an answer for a vast majority of paranormal things. It's just the paranormal community doesn't want to accept them.
My name is Karine Besant, and I am the founder member of South Bristol Paranormal. I tend to be the organiser. That is finding a location, arranging travel, the setup when we get there, what we're going to do, how we're going to investigate, because we're more science-based than belief-based. My team members, there are 8 of us in total. Obviously, I'm the founder, the team leader. Then Karina is open-minded. She's the longest serving member. Sarah is a skeptic and very, very clever as well. Puts me to shame. Alan, who's I would consider, a sensitive. He picks up on emotions and people. He is a firm believer and one of the most enthusiastic paranormal investigators I've ever met. Have fun.
Here you go. Actually, this one here is a pocket REM. So basically, if anything gets near that aerial, the closer it gets and touches, you can see the lights go up. Similar sort of thing to that one, because they believe that spirits are energy. So anything sort of magnetic or static goes near it, it will set it off. The one on the step is a EDI, and that one sort of does the temperature. The middle ones are blue ones, which are EMF, and the bottom ones, which are orange, it's like a geophone.
We need to understand what you want to say to us. If there are other spirits present who would like to come forward if you're not strong enough.
The ideomotor effect basically moves, one person will think of an answer almost at a subconscious level, and they will look, say, on the board to that letter to start that word, and they'll move slightly towards it, which will make the rest of the group, and only a very small fraction, which will make the rest of the group try and catch up with the glass, which then moves it more and more.
Knowing how to interact with so-called spirits. So if you're trying to talk to a monk from the 1500s or 1400s, our modern day language would be totally alien. So using music, sounds or conversations or speech from a particular time period is an integral part of what we do.
This is a very old nursery rhyme, and it's ideal for a location that we go to do with spinning and things like that.
Wind the bobbin up, pull, pull, clap, clap, clap. Wind it back again, pull, pull.
Everyone has a belief system, and to me, the most important part about investigating is to leave your belief system at the door. You could think anything is happening, but what you think is happening doesn't actually mean that's what's there. You have to gain the evidence, you have to log the data, then look back on it, and you have to look at it critically. You can't turn around and just say, oh, definitely a ghost, because we don't know where that knocking noise came from.
When we was downstairs, Corinne's mentioned to you that, well, she calls me a sensitive. Sometimes I think of things and think of names, places, and I just say what I think. Sometimes it comes true. It is true to what's happened in the past and things. So this is why she says I'm like a sensitive. Personally, I don't know whether it's true or not. what I'm thinking, but sometimes I don't think, well, where are these ideas coming from?
The amount of nights we've had where we're really serious and we're like, right, you know, is there any spirits? And nothing. And then you get a bit like, so you start messing around and sort of chatting to each other.
And they like the
joking,
laughter as well.
and they look, and,
Yeah.
and that energy, as we build up, suddenly you're like, what was that? And then you're back into it again then. And especially towards late at night when you start getting quite tired and, you know, things start to kind of drag on and you start getting a bit giggly because the exhaustion's kicking in. Yeah. And you've had far too much sugar by that point to try and keep you awake. So you're running a little
Did you
sugar
say
high.
something just a minute ago? Is that why you looked round?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Most don't believe it, but we do it because we're always hoping for that one little time that there's something we think, can't explain that. It's like all of this you can debunk it,
Yeah.
but sometimes you get something you think, wow.
The phones are off, aren't they?
Haven't got it on there.
Same.
We may have a visitor.
Sorry? You heard someone walking on the stairs when there's no one in there?
That's why I rushed round and
Oh.
up here.
Wow. That's
Fun.
interesting.
Let's see what we find.
This is interesting that sometimes the fewer you have, the more things happen.
Well, as I look at it, because if you were a human being
Yeah.
that had died, right, and you were in a situation where, alright, you're dead and people wander in and out and you can see them but you can't interact with them, and then like 20 people come walking in at once.
Yeah.
If you were a normal human being and 20 people walked into a room, what would you be like? What the fuck's going on? Wouldn't you?
I would wind them all up. Keep talking, Kev, like you.
Just makes them beep.
So yeah, that's one
Yeah, but
hypothesis. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Like if ghosts are real and that's the whole thing, that it is a person who's passed over or died or anything else, and most average people, if you suddenly filled a room full of people, are going to get nervous.
Like I say, I'm not too sure on what his name is, the actual person's name is, but I'm picking up on a Peter, so we'll have to find that one out later. But it was said that he died, basically committed suicide. Because his girlfriend left him and he was very lonely, and I can't remember whether he set himself on fire or whether he stabbed himself. I can't remember which one it was now, but I think it's supposed to be something to do with satanic rituals up here he used to do. That's why it's probably a... Ooh, he knows we're here. And he knows we're talking about him. Don't you? You know we're talking about you. Now come on in. Come and prove to us that you exist, that you are here. It's kind of weird. I've sort of, one minute I sense he's coming down, but he's...
Unsure.
I think.
Yeah,
I won't turn the light on him anymore.
I don't think he likes the camera.
Yeah.
Do you? If you don't like the camera, slam this door. Shut this door.
Was his death in this exact place?
In his room.
How long ago is that?
I'm not sure. I'm getting 60s. Can you make a noise? Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I did think you were here. They say when it gets closer. I'm feeling the temperature is really getting lower
Yeah.
and lower. Although it is showing up on there, so it is going down a bit. But do you just shake it?
Shake.
You shiver? Hello, thank you. Hello. You letting us know you're here now? See, that's bizarre, because if it is a spirit that's come in, because I think he's upstairs and he's too afraid to come down, but that one's going off, which is a device that very rarely goes off, but it's not hitting the other three. Are you? And you're making different tunes, different sounds. Now that is weird. Never seen you do that before.
What do those mean in terms of the sound of just
I don't know, to be honest. Never read it before. Bizarre. Okay, doke. Catch you in a bit. Right, time to go back now.
I made me jump a little.
The earth moved then.
Did you get that on camera?